What I'm going to do, because we've got 8-foot gables going on the end of these upper cabinets, I'm going to get those set up with all the hardware and the drawer slides. But I just wanted to show you one of the desk gables. Now there's two types of desk gables. One that's 723 millimeters high, and the other one is 755 millimeters high. The only difference between the two, besides the height, is the size of the kick strip. And so on the 723 millimeter gable, we use the 2.5 inch kick, whereas the 755 mil high gable, we use the medium or 3 3/4 inch kick. And the higher gable is just for people who may be larger, taller people where their knees may hit like pull-out trays for keyboards and things like that. But in this installation, we're going ahead with the 723 millimeter size gable. Now you'll notice these desk gables, they have a hole in the back. And once we get into the installation a bit further, there's actually a 6-inch shelf that goes on the back of these where cables can run all the way along. And so the cables, power cables, computer cords, things such as that, don't have to lie on the floor. They can sit on this back shelf, so it's very convenient that way. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and get these large 8-foot gables that you see on the floor all set up and the hardware mounted. It's a good idea. Most places nowadays have wood floor, so your installer should carry some sort of a drop sheet so that you can work on the floor and avoid any possible scratching of the customer's flooring. Because we're using the small kick, which is a 2.5 inch kick, that actually goes, the shelf would go in the 3rd hole from the bottom of the gable. So I count out 1, 2, 3 holes, and that's where my bottom shelf is going to go. And so I'm just going to get these screw and dowels into place. Now, these are side mount roller bearing glides, and we use those on our filing cabinets. And with these, if you refer to your installation manual, it will tell you exactly where these glides are to mount. And so in this application, we have 5 visible holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 visible, and then this will mount in the 6th hole. And we fasten these onto the gable with the little Euro screw. The next step is we've put together this cabinet on the floor, and that is by far the easiest, and already the hardware is on. Now if you forget to put the hardware on, you won't forget the next time, because it's quite a bit more difficult to put that drawer glide hardware on when the cabinet is put together. So this is the small kick. As you can see, our cabinet is face down, so the finished edge is on the floor. The unfinished edge is facing us. And usually what I use is just a couple of scraps of the rail and cap as spacers. And it just gives a bit nicer effect to have the kick set back just slightly from the front of the cabinet. And so it works well if you're on hardwood floor. You need to be a little bit careful if you're on the carpet and you're doing this method, because you'll have more play and you could end up with a cockeyed kick that's not on straight. But on hardwood floor, it works very, very well. And so we use 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch L brackets to secure this on. And I usually put 3 on, 1 on either side and 1 in the middle. And the 3/4 inch pan head screws. So I'm just going to fasten these on. and get them into place here. Now with these pen head screws, they are 3/4 inch, but it's a good idea when you put them in, especially if you're coming out to a finished side, just put them on a slight angle. I've noticed sometimes the manufacturer of these screws make the tip just a bit longer once in a while, and if that happens you'll know because it'll start to dimple a finished side. So by putting them in on a slight angle, you don't have any worries about it coming through. Our kick is on, and now we're ready to lift this cabinet up into place. Okay, so there we have it. Our cabinet's in place, and now I can go along and make sure that all my upper cabinets are going to be the same height as this 8-foot cabinet is going to be. And so I'm going to level from this cabinet all the way down.